Hello all. For this video I'm going to cover the first 18 pages in this booklet. This booklet is, if you check your notes, it's called T5 and it's got number work ratio, area, perimeter, volume, and I'm going to cover the first 18 pages. So obviously that's page 1, this is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on, and this is page 18 in your booklet. So in this video I'm going to cover the first 18 pages, and in these 18 pages there's three main topics. There's reciprocals, estimation and bid mass. So let's get started. So this is the first page. It's called answers, page 1. Okay, I'll just put that back down there and we go to page 2. Page 2 is just, if you turn your booklet you'll see it's got those topics there: reciprocals, estimation, rounding, bid mass and general number work, number 2. Okay, let's get on to page 3. So this is page 3 here. Okay, and if you look at your page 3, it says page 3 at the bottom, and question 1 says, Mel says that every number has a reciprocal. Give the counter example to show that Mel is wrong. Well, that answer is always 0. 0 is the only number that does not have a reciprocal. And then the remainder of the questions deal with the reciprocals of normal numbers. So the reciprocal of 9 will be, as we know, 1 over 9. And then if you move it on down, you'll see the reciprocal of 7, which is 1 over 7. 1 over 7. However, this one here is the key one. Work out the reciprocal of 1.8. Okay, so you're either going to get a whole number, which is just flick it over itself. For example, the reciprocal of 100 is 1 over 100. The reciprocal of 1.8 means you must do 1 over 1.8 first. Then obviously multiply it by, you put your 10 at the top and 18 at the bottom. And then if you know how to do that, if you're not too confident, leave it like that. But if you know they divide by 2, it's 5 over 9. Okay, so that's page 1 explained. I think page 2, or sorry, that's page 3. Okay, now page 4 is just, if you pause the video and check to do your answers now, if you pause the video you can try and answer them. You can see that's the answer for the reciprocal of 1.5 and 1.2. Okay, so next page is page 5. Now page 5's got to do with estimating. Just make it a bit bigger. Okay, now this is a common question. Estimate the square root of 34. So what you need to do first of all is think of the square number before 34, which is 25, arrow down to 5. The next one after 34 is 36, arrow down to 6. You place 34 wherever it fits in the line from 25 to 36. 34 is very close to 36. You must draw the line between 5 and 6. Decide where this 34 goes, draw a line down, and you'll see it's somewhere like 5.7. For example, you wouldn't put 34 in here because 34 isn't close to 25. A number you could put in here, if it had been the square root of 28 or something, that would come down and that would have give you something like 5.2 or 5.3. But the answer to that is 5.7. Now, in the exam, they will let you answer anything from 5.7 to 5.9. Okay, now there's many questions in this video to do with that type of question. Okay, I'm not going to answer any more, but I'll show you the answers after, as we go through them, and you can check your answer to make sure you're doing it right. This estimation is a 3-mark question, boys and girls. It's a non-calculator question. Do not make any mistakes. It's quite a tricky one. Estimating 703 becomes 700. 3.82 becomes 4. However, here's the key thing. 0.9 is 0.91 becomes 0.9. 0.69 becomes 0.7, and that gives us an answer of 0.2. So 700 multiplied by 4 gives you 2,800. Now, what happens when you multiply by or divide by a decimal? You put the 0 to the top, the point disappears at the bottom, and that then becomes 28,000 divided by 2. Do it as a dividing sum. 2 into 2 goes 1, 2 into 8 goes 4, and you've got the 3 zeros to give you 14,000. Okay, those questions are worth 3 marks. They're very easy marks to pick up, so please make sure you do them. And then at the bottom of that page, I'll just zoom in a bit here, you'll see that's question 2. You try that there to make sure you get the answer for that. And then that's one of those estimating questions with the square root to check your answer is there. So that's page 5, boys and girls, done. Okay, let's move on. We're moving rightly. Let's move on to page 6. Okay, so page 6 has got an estimating question to do with area of shapes. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get the top one done. So you try the top one yourself. This is page 6. Okay, and this has got to do with estimating. So estimate the number of circular discs of radius 3.1. Radius of 3.1, if we rounded that, that's a radius of 3 to give us a diameter of 6. So that should be underlined. The radius of 3.1, which without overlapping in a rectangular tray of 50 and width 23. Now this is an on calculator, so that's 50. So really what you do to work out how many of those 6s goes across the length of 50, because that's now 6. So if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I reckon I can get 8 in, because 8 6s is 48. You're not going to get exactly in 6 into 50. And then 23, I'm reckon 6 watts get me close to 23. Well, 4. 6 4s is 24, so I can get 4 of those in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can get 8 across this way, 4 up this way, so 8 4s. If I was to fill all them out, that would give me 32. Now please check through that to understand how to do that question. That question will probably appear in some format in January time. Okay, that's page 6. Okay, page 7. Let's open it up here. Okay, there are 6 eggs in each egg box. Estimate the total number of boxes needed for 297. Okay, same again. 297 becomes 300 divided by 6 to give you an answer of 50. Tommy earns $6.15 per hour. Estimate his earnings for 39. 39 to 40. 6.15 to 6. Multiply to give you that. Okay. Question 2a. Have a read of that answer. Question 2b. Comment on how good this estimate is likely to be. Well, this is about rainfall in July. Now, what do we know about July? July is a summer month, and the likelihood is it won't be as wet in summer than it will be in winter. So, estimate how good this. Comment on how good this estimate is likely to be. Well, it's not going to be very reliable because you're more likely to get rainfall in winter or summer. So you wouldn't base your whole yearly rainfall for 2013 based on July. Okay, so I think you have to be quite clear when you're talking about that. That's page 7. It's a good page. 8 opened. Okay. So estimate how many clocks costing £6.85 can be bought for £67. So I've rounded 67, as you see, to 70, 6.85 to 7. That's the answer for 2A. 2B. Now, you have to think about this, boys and girls. This is not a dividing sum. There are 43 caravans, and each caravan is 6.7 metres long. So round it 43 to 40, 6.7 to 7. So each caravan is 7, so we need 40 of those. So that's a sum 40 times 7, which gives you 280. Okay, we need to be very careful when we have a think about that. So that's how to work that answer there for question 8. Get rid of that. Question 9. Make these a wee bit smaller. Okay, same type of question. Estimate the total length of 53 buses with an average length of 8.7. 50 times 9, 450. Part B, that's the answer. They'll accept either one of those two. Part C, that's the only answer there. Part D, we've spoken about these before, so you should be able to try those to get an answer of something like that. Okay, that's the end of page 9. Page 10. "43 people on a bus, 14 got off and 11 got on. How many people are on the bus?" So that's a standard sum. To give you this answer here, check your workings. Christine needs 100 tiles for a room. Tiles are sold in boxes of 8. Work out the least number of tiles that Christine needs to buy. Well, 100 divided by 8, this is non-calculator, so 8 goes into 1, nothing. 8 goes into 10, 1, remainder 2. 8 goes into 22, remainder 4, and that gives you 12 and a half. Okay, you can't get 12 and a half tiles, so it has to be 13 tiles. Now this one here I thought was worth doing. Estimate 96 is 100. These two added together give you 2, and this here becomes 300. So adding them up gives you 402. But I suppose that they would accept 400 if you decide to put in 400. And the answer for this one is this here. Boys and girls, if I was to say one thing to you to be very careful of is all the non-calculator questions, they're basic dividing and multiplying sums. So practice your dividing and multiplying between now and the exam. Okay, so that's the end of page 10. Make them a bit smaller if we can. Page 11. Okay, this is quite a good question. You can see page 11 at the bottom. Okay, now you're going to try and make this a bit bigger. "22 tests in a row, and there are 9 rows. That's one. Think of the examination, you know, where you'll be doing your Christmas exams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and in each row there's 23 across. 23. So estimate the total number of desks in the hall. So 22 becomes 20. 9 obviously becomes 10, which gives you 20 times 10, which is 200. I think they would have accepted just 20 times 9, which is 180. Okay, part B. A book contains 382 pages. So this is a dividing sum. The book's divided into 22 chapters. Estimate the number of pages in each chapter. Now, 400 divided by 20, you can them two zeros can cancel out. When you've got a 0 top and bottom and dividing, you cancel those out, which gives you 40 divided by 2, which gives you 20. You could have done 380 divided by 20, which is 38 divided by 2, which gives you 19. Either one of those acceptable. Part 3. That's the answer for part 3 with the workings. Check your workings. Okay. So that's page 11 done. Make that smaller. Put it back up. Page 12. Okay, same answers again. Workings answer. Workings answer. That's the one with the squared root. That's the answer I got, but they'll accept any of these answers here. Hopefully you can see that. Make it a bit bigger. Part D. Nearest 100 is 4,400. Now, I'll explain a minute just rounding here so we're all clear. I'll actually do this sum. So, 19.0396. Okay, what you do is this. You need two decimal places. So you go to the second number, arrow it, put a box around everything in front of it. Look at this number here, 9. This 9 will increase this number. So I look at that number and that to me looks like 1,903. And if I add 1, that gives me 1,904. And I put the decimal back in. That's how you do decimal places. If I was doing it 3 decimal places, go along to the third number, arrow, box it all round. That 6 will increase it. That looks like 19,039. So that gives you 19,040. Okay, that's how you tackle those decimal places. And that's the end of page, I think that's page 12. Page 13. So page 13. In a survey of 80 rail passengers buying tickets, 5,000 bought tickets at this station. Estimate how many are under 30. So that's 32 out of 80, and you multiply it by 5,000. So really what that means is 5,000 divided by 80 multiplied by 32. P2, boys and girls, if it says paper 2 is a calculator exam. So in the exam, you could use 5,000 divided by 50 on your calculator, multiply by 32 to give you 2,000. Just make sure you check that question to make sure you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Question 11, use your calculator to find the answer. Please do it one step at a time. Do the top line first to give you that, the bottom line first next to give you that, this number here, and then the key thing is it says to 1 decimal place. one decimal place.